that's the case. What's the point to give up something which Allah made permitted for you? It's permitted, it's normal, have it. You give that up. Why? For the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala during the month of Ramadan. Then, from greater reasoning, you have to give up the things which are prohibited. This is why Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam, he said inside hadith, كَمْ مِنْ صَائِمٍ لَيْسَ لَهُ مِنْ صَوْمِهِ إِلَّا الْجَوْعِ وَالْعَطْشِ. How many fasting people get nothing from their fast? Nothing from their fast except for hunger and thirst. Rasulullah was saying it in a way to blame them. And how many fasting people get nothing from their fast? كَمْ مِنْ صَائِمٍ. How many of the fasting people get nothing from their fast? إِلَّا الْجَوْعِ وَالْعَطْشِ. Except for hunger and thirst. He's blaming them. Why? Because Ramadan is not about hunger and thirst in itself. That's not the maqsad. That's not the intention of the month of Ramadan. You're going to feel hungry and thirsty. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't say inside the Quran, in order for you, fasting has been written for you as it was written on those before you, in order for you to feel hungry and thirsty. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't say that. He said, لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. In order for you to have taqwa. If someone wants to know taqwa, think about what I just said. You're giving up something which is permitted in origin, which means by greater reason you have to give up everything which is not permitted. Rasulullah alayhi sallam said inside another hadith, من لم يضع قول الزور والعمل به فليس لله حاجة أن يضع طعامه وشرابه. Whoever doesn't give up false witnessing, whoever doesn't give up lying, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't have a need for him to give up his food and drink. Allah doesn't have a need for him to give up his food and drink. Why are you giving up your food and drink? He says, why? Someone, for example, during the month of Ramadan, he's doing his business and he lies to someone about his wares. He lies in order to get, better profit or whatever it may be. Well, why bother to fast? You're prohibiting yourself from something which is permitted, and you didn't even prohibit yourself from something which is prohibited in origin. That's the concept behind the fasting. That's why when someone fasts his fasting, he needs to reflect upon that. And reflect upon how I'm giving up what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made permitted for me in origin. Why? To train me. It's to train my desires. I'm giving up what my desires want and Allah has allowed me to have. I'm giving all of that up. Why? To follow Allah's command during this month. In order to understand that me and my desires are nothing. Zero. In front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There's another narration where Rasulullah alayhi sallam, he talked. There's different versions of it. But in one version it mentions that every action كُلُّ عَمَلِ ابْنَ آدَمْ لَهُ إِلَّا الصِّيَامِ. Every action of the son of Adam, meaning every action of a human being, is for himself. إِلَّا الصِّيَامِ. Except for fasting. What does that mean? What does it mean that every action of the son of Adam is for himself apart from fasting? Every other action you do, my dear brothers, doesn't someone witness it in one shape or form? You give charity, even, you should give it inside the secret way, but you know about it and there'll be some feeling from that. You pray, people will see you praying your Jum'ah prayer, for example, or praying your prayer inside Jama'ah, for example. You do other good deeds, enjoying the good, forbidding the evil. It's a good deed. People will see you enjoying the good, forbidding the evil, leading by example. And they have their reasons that you do these things. Fasting, no one sees you doing. That's what Allah says, كُلُّ عَمَلِ ابْنَ آدَمْ لَهُ إِلَّا الصِّيَامِ. Every action of the son of God, son of Adam, is for him, إِلَّا الصِّيَامِ, except for fasting. فَإِنَّهُ لِي. Truly it is for me. وَأَنَا أَجَزِي بِهِ. And I'm the one who's going to give the reward for it. That's how special fasting is. There is a special action between the person and between Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The reason why is that special, my dear brothers, ask yourself this question. How do you know that I fasted today? You don't. Frankly speaking, from a scientific proof, rational point of view, you know that I've been fasting today, inshallah ta'ala, from the point of view that you see that I'm Muslim, I'm trustworthy, I'm sitting here, and I've told you that I'm fasting. But frankly speaking, no one would have checked up with me at 6 in the morning and seen whether I was inside my fridge thinking, you know, it's early morning, no one's going to see me. Let me quickly, you know. Even amongst your family, if your family is around, no one's going to see you if you sneak off, you know, everyone's going to the prayer. Okay, let me go sneak off. It's Dhuhr time, no one's looking, everyone's resting, whatever it may be. I'll go and quickly have a glass of milk or whatever. But people don't do that. They could do that, but people don't do that. And that's why the action of fasting is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because no one knows except for you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's the specific, special nature that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said. Because it's hadith Qudsi, قال الله عز وجل. Rasulullah said, Allah said, every action of the son of Adam is for him, except for fasting. فَإِنَّهُ لِي وَأَنَا أَجْزِي بِهِ. And inside another narration of the same, another riwayah of the same narration, Rasulullah alayhi salatu said, يَدْعُ شَهْوَتُهُ وَطَعَامُهُ لِأَجْلِهِ. He left behind his desires and his food for my sake. This is the underlying, fundamental lesson of Ramadan. That someone submits his desires, his want for food and drink, or relationships with his wife, whatever it may be, he submits and leaves that for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Especially. Why? Because Islam as a whole, my dear brothers, it came in order to take people from the darkness and the oppression of following other people's desires and following the slaves of Allah, and instead to take them to following Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has commanded them. Islam, there's one rule, my dear brothers, if you put this rule inside your mind, it's good for life actually. This rule is a fundamental rule for the whole of your life. That rule is every aspect, everything which I do has to submit to what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants. My desires are nothing. My wishes and wants are nothing. Everything has to submit to what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants. That's the fundamental viewpoint of a Muslim, which differentiates him from a kafir. That's the fundamental viewpoint of a Muslim and a person of Ahlul Jannah that differentiates them from a person from Jahannam. That's the fundamental difference. Not that they fasted and stayed away from the food and drink during the Ramadan, and they gathered together inside the masjid during the Taraweeh, and they prayed together on the 27th night, and then they gathered together, had a party on Eid, and then everything went back to normal after that. That's not the fundamental difference between a Muslim and a non-Muslim. Because they have their own kinds of Eids and kind of thing where they get together, get religious or whatever it may be, and then get on with their whole life afterwards as well, as though nothing happened. The difference between a Muslim is we recognize that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us and created us to worship Him, and that worshipping Him means every part of our life, every aspect of our life submits, is directed, is controlled by the revelation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that's why this month is special. This month is special because this revelation began in this month. And this revelation didn't come, my dear brothers, for me and for you, or just simply for the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam alone, or for just the companions alone. Rather, when the revelation came, it came for the whole of mankind. When revelation came, it came to take not Abu Luqmaan out of darkness into light, not Muhammad or Abdullah or Ahmed or my little community in Burton out of the darkness and into the light, and that's it. Just for the sake of the 1 month alone. But rather, Islam came as a guidance for the whole of mankind. For all of their lives and for all of our lives. And so when we approach Ramadan now, when we're reading the Quran, let's reflect upon it, my dear brothers. Don't read it just like a ritual. Read it and go to the meaning of it. And understand what it is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying to you. You know when Quran, what is Quran, brothers? Quran, because Ramadan is the month of Quran. Quran is Allah talking to you. How is it that Allah can talk to us and we don't understand the word that He says? And then we're happy with that word?